All right, listen up, ladies and gentlemen. This one's for you, especially you women out there who have been dealing with a man who just doesn't know how to act right. I want you to hear me now. Make him feel erased from your life. That's right, I said it, erased. Not a little ghosted, not a little maybe I'll take him back situation. I'm talking about fully erased. It all begins with understanding and acknowledging your own worth. If you don't know your value, how can you expect anyone else to recognize it? Often, we fall into the trap of giving so much of ourselves to someone else that we forget to take a step back and evaluate how much we truly deserve. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new relationship, the hope that things will change, or the belief that if we just give a little more, we'll receive the love, respect, and appreciation we desire in return. But the truth is, this kind of thinking often leads to disappointment and self-doubt. When you know your worth, you stop settling for the bare minimum. You don't allow anyone to treat you as an afterthought or take you for granted. You begin to set boundaries, clear, firm, and non-negotiable boundaries. These boundaries are not about keeping people out. They are about protecting your energy and ensuring that the people you allow into your life are capable of respecting and valuing you for who you are. Knowing your worth means having the courage to walk away from situations and relationships that do not align with your values and needs. There's a reason why self-worth is foundational to every healthy relationship, whether it's with friends, family, or romantic partners. When you don't value yourself, you create an environment where others feel they can walk all over you. You teach them how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you tolerate disrespect, if you let someone's actions or words affect your sense of self, you're silently telling the world that it's okay to mistreat you. You're communicating that you're willing to accept crumbs when you deserve the whole feast. Knowing your worth means understanding that you are not defined by someone else's approval or validation. Your value is intrinsic. It comes from within. No one can give it to you, and no one can take it away unless you allow them to. The opinions of others should not dictate how you feel about yourself. It's easy to get caught up in seeking approval from the people around us, whether it's from a partner, friends, or even family. But it's important to realize that your worth is not contingent upon external sources. Your value is inherent, and once you embrace that, it shifts everything. In relationships, knowing your worth means not settling for someone who treats you like an option. You are not someone's backup plan or safety net. You are a priority, and if someone can't see that, they don't deserve your time or energy. This isn't about being arrogant or self-centered. It's about knowing that you are worthy of love, respect, and care. It's about raising your standards to align with the high value you've placed on yourself. There's a sense of power that comes with truly understanding your worth. It gives you confidence in every area of your life. You walk taller, speak with clarity, and make choices based on what you truly need, not out of desperation or fear of being alone. You stop seeking external validation because you already know that you are enough just as you are. It doesn't mean you don't have flaws or that you don't have room for growth. It means you accept yourself, flaws and all, and realize that no one can diminish your value by pointing out imperfections. When you know your worth, you start making decisions that reflect the respect you have for yourself. You invest your time and energy into people who lift you up, who value you as much as you value yourself. You begin to make choices that are aligned with your best interests, not just the interests of others. You begin to surround yourself with people who see your potential and encourage you to grow into the best version of yourself. Ultimately, Knowing your worth is about self-respect. It's about saying I am enough and not accepting less than that. When you embrace your worth, you open the door to healthier relationships, better opportunities, and a life filled with the love and respect you deserve. Knowing your worth isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a foundation on which you build your life. And once you truly believe in your worth, nothing and no one can ever make you feel less than you are. Taking your energy back is one of the most empowering actions you can take in any situation where you've been giving too much of yourself and not receiving what you deserve in return. It's about reclaiming your power, recognizing that you've been allowing someone to occupy space in your life, sometimes more space than they ever earned. When you start to realize that you've been overinvesting emotionally, mentally, and physically into a relationship or situation that is draining you, it's time to make a shift. Your energy is a precious resource, and when you give it away freely to someone who doesn't appreciate it, you deplete yourself. You start to feel tired, emotionally exhausted, and sometimes even disconnected from who you really are. You forget the value of your time, your effort, and your care. And once your energy starts to get drained, it becomes harder and harder to maintain a healthy sense of self. The longer you continue to pour into something or someone who isn't giving back, the more you lose sight of your own needs and priorities. Taking your energy back is about stopping that cycle before it completely consumes you. One of the first steps in this process is recognizing that your energy is yours and yours alone. You have the power to control where it goes, who it flows to, and when you decide it's time to cut off the supply. It's not selfish to protect your peace. In fact, it's one of the most self-loving things you can do. When you start to notice that you're giving more than you're receiving in any relationship, be it romantic, platonic, or familial, it's time to pull back. This doesn't mean you have to cut people out completely or create drama. It's simply about redirecting your energy, focusing it on yourself, and choosing not to invest it where it's not being reciprocated. This process isn't about punishing anyone. It's not about making someone feel bad or hurting them in any way. It's about a quiet shift in your own behavior that sends a clear message: you're no longer available to be drained. You stop making excuses for someone else's lack of effort. You stop apologizing for needing space, for needing time to take care of yourself. By pulling back, you stop giving so much of yourself to someone who hasn't earned that place in your life. When you take your energy back, you also start to shift your focus. You shift from constantly worrying about the other person, trying to figure out what they need or what they want, to focusing on what you need and want. You make yourself a priority again. You reestablish your own goals, your own passions, and your own peace of mind. By doing this, you start to rediscover your own worth and the things that make you happy. You find joy in the things that once brought you fulfillment outside of the relationship or situation that was draining you. Another key part of taking your energy back is recognizing the power of silence. Sometimes the most powerful way to reclaim your energy is by simply not engaging. This doesn't mean you need to confront the person or make a big scene. It means when they reach out or try to engage with you, you choose not to respond in ways that continue to feed into their behavior. You stop chasing them. You stop trying to explain yourself. You stop giving them your time and attention when it's clear that they're not appreciating it. The absence of your energy can be the loudest message of all. By taking your energy back, you also take back control of your time. Time is one of the most valuable things you have, And when you give it away to someone who isn't valuing it, you waste it. When you stop engaging with people who drain your energy, you free up your time to do the things that truly nourish you, whether that's spending time with people who make you feel good, working on your personal goals, or simply enjoying the peace and quiet of being on your own. Time, once you take it back, becomes a space where you can reconnect with who you really are. In the end, reclaiming your energy is not just about stepping away from toxic relationships or situations. It's about re-establishing boundaries, learning to say no, and giving yourself permission to prioritize your own well-being. You don't have to be everything to everyone. You don't have to be available all the time. By taking your energy back, you empower yourself to live the life you deserve, one that's filled with respect, balance, and peace. When we talk about erasing someone from your life without seeking revenge, it's important to recognize that this isn't about holding onto anger or bitterness. It's not about trying to get even or make someone feel bad for the way they've treated you. In fact, seeking revenge or acting out of spite often only hurts you in the end. Instead, the power lies in walking away with grace and dignity, choosing to protect your peace rather than get bogged down in negativity. When someone has hurt you, it's natural to feel upset, frustrated, and even angry. You may want them to feel the same pain they've caused you, or you might think that getting back at them will give you a sense of closure. But here's the truth. Revenge rarely provides the satisfaction we hope for. Sure, it might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't change the past, and it certainly doesn't heal the wounds that have been caused. Instead of letting anger dictate your actions, make the conscious choice to erase them from your life quietly, without drama or bitterness. Erasing someone from your life without seeking revenge is a form of emotional maturity. It's the ability to understand that your happiness and peace are far more important than any petty revenge. Think about it. When you allow yourself to be consumed by anger or resentment, you're essentially handing over your power to that person. They're still affecting your emotional state and your well-being, even though they're no longer a part of your life. Instead of letting them continue to have power over you, take back control. Refuse to allow their actions to impact you any further. This doesn't mean you should ignore your feelings or suppress your emotions. It's completely normal to feel hurt and upset when someone you care about betrays or disappoints you. What's important, though, is acknowledging those feelings and then choosing not to let them control your actions. The key is to process your emotions in a healthy way and then move forward with a sense of purpose and resolve. You don't need to lash out, talk badly about the person, or try to hurt them in return. You simply need to focus on yourself and what's best for your own emotional well-being. One of the most empowering things you can do in this situation is to remove yourself from the cycle of drama and negativity. If someone has wronged you, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly thinking about them, wondering why they did what they did, or wishing that they would apologize. But this only keeps you stuck in the past. It keeps you connected to them in a way that doesn't serve you. When you erase them from your life without engaging in revenge, you're freeing yourself from that mental and emotional tie. You're making the choice to let go of what happened, not because you're okay with it, but because you value your own peace more than holding on to the pain. Another important aspect of erasing someone from your life without seeking revenge is setting boundaries. It's easy to think that cutting someone out means completely avoiding or ignoring them, but it's not always that simple. You might have to navigate situations where you still need to interact with that person, whether it's through mutual friends, family gatherings, or work. In these cases, the key is to maintain your boundaries. You don't have to engage in conversations with them that are emotionally charged or revisit old issues. You can be polite, but firm in your decision to move forward without reopening old wounds. This boundary setting is part of the process of erasing them from your life. It allows you to protect your emotional state without getting drawn back into the negativity that once existed. The beauty of erasing someone from your life in this way is that you can do it with kindness, even if that person may not deserve it. You don't have to wish them ill or hold on to anger. In fact, by choosing not to seek revenge, you demonstrate a level of strength and self-respect. You're showing yourself that you're better than the drama, better than the pettiness, and better than holding on to negativity. And let me tell you, that kind of self-respect and emotional intelligence is far more powerful than any form of retaliation could ever be. In the end, erasing someone from your life without revenge is about taking the high road. It's about choosing peace over chaos, healing over hurt, and self-respect over bitterness. It's about reclaiming your energy and choosing to move forward with grace, even if the other person never acknowledges their wrongdoing. By walking away without seeking revenge, you are showing yourself and the world that you're strong enough to rise above the pain and move on with your life. And that is a power that no one can ever take from you. Self-respect is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, and it is especially crucial when you find yourself in a situation where you need to make the difficult decision to walk away from someone or something that isn't treating you with the respect you deserve. When you have self-respect, you understand the value of your time, energy, and emotions. You recognize that you are worthy of being treated with kindness, consideration, and honesty. If you are consistently allowing someone to disrespect you or take advantage of your goodwill, it's a sign that you need to take a step back and reevaluate the situation. Having self-respect means not tolerating behavior that diminishes your sense of self-worth. It means setting boundaries that protect your emotional well-being, even if it means walking away from people or situations that you once valued. Sometimes people test your boundaries because they believe that you will always tolerate their behavior. But when you have self-respect, you know that your peace of mind is worth more than their temporary presence in your life. It's not about being rude or cold. It's about recognizing that your emotional and mental health are non-negotiable. The key to self-respect is understanding that you don't need anyone's approval to feel good about yourself. When you rely on others to validate your worth, you leave yourself vulnerable to being manipulated or mistreated. The truth is, you should be your own biggest fan, your own biggest advocate. If you cannot respect yourself, how can you expect anyone else to? When you have self-respect, you stop seeking external validation and start focusing on what truly matters: your happiness, your peace, and your personal growth. Self-respect also means learning to say no when necessary. It means knowing your limits and refusing to stretch yourself too thin for others, especially when those others are taking advantage of your kindness or disregarding your needs. Saying no can be difficult, especially when you've been conditioned to put others before yourself. But it's one of the most important skills you can develop in order to protect your own emotional well-being. When you respect yourself, you understand that saying no doesn't make you selfish or unkind. It simply means you are taking care of yourself and ensuring that your needs are met. Another important aspect of self-respect is being honest with yourself. It's easy to make excuses for someone else's behavior, to rationalize why they're treating you poorly, or why you should give them another chance. But self-respect means accepting the truth, even when it's difficult. It means acknowledging when someone's actions don't align with their words, and choosing to walk away rather than continue to subject yourself to pain or disappointment. You deserve to be in relationships where the actions match the words, where respect is mutual, and where you are valued for who you are, not what you can give. Self-respect also plays a crucial role in your personal growth and development. When you respect yourself, you stop settling for mediocrity. You begin to recognize your own potential and strive to meet your own goals. You set high standards for yourself because you know that you are capable of achieving great things. With self-respect, you start to surround yourself with people who uplift you, support your dreams, and encourage you to become the best version of yourself. These are the people who respect you as much as you respect yourself. Furthermore, self-respect allows you to forgive yourself when necessary. It's easy to get caught up in guilt and self-blame, especially when relationships end or when we make mistakes. But self-respect means recognizing that you are human, that you will stumble, and that it's okay to learn from those experiences rather than dwell on them. You don't beat yourself up for past mistakes, but instead, you use them as stepping stones for growth. This self-forgiveness is an essential part of healing and moving forward. Ultimately, when you have self-respect, you stop accepting less than you deserve. You know that you are worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment, and you stop settling for anything that doesn't align with those values. You become the architect of your own life, making decisions that honor your worth and your needs. This not only improves your relationships with others, but also your relationship with yourself. You start to see yourself as valuable and deserving of all the good things life has to offer. In relationships, self-respect becomes the foundation for mutual respect. If you can respect yourself, you set the standard for how others should treat you. People will begin to recognize your boundaries, and those who truly value you will respect them. Self-respect is not just about how you treat yourself. It's also about setting the tone for how others interact with you. And when you demand and maintain self-respect, you'll find that the people in your life will either rise to meet you at that level or fall away. Either way, you are left with peace of mind knowing you are living according to your own highest standards. Self-love is one of the most powerful tools you have when it comes to erasing someone from your life and reclaiming your peace. At its core, self-love means treating yourself with the same care, respect, and compassion that you would give to a loved one. It's about prioritizing your own emotional and mental well-being above all else, and understanding that you deserve to be happy, valued, and treated with kindness, both by yourself and by others. In the context of removing someone from your life, self-love becomes the driving force that gives you the strength to walk away from toxic situations and reclaim your sense of self. When you love yourself, you understand that you are worthy of more than what you've been accepting. You stop tolerating behavior that undermines your self-worth, whether that's from a partner, a friend, or even family members. People who truly love themselves don't settle for relationships that leave them feeling drained, disrespected, or unappreciated. Instead, they demand and create boundaries that protect their hearts and minds. Self-love is not about being perfect or never making mistakes. It's about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and recognizing that you are deserving of love and respect regardless of your imperfections. The act of erasing someone from your life, when rooted in self-love, becomes an empowering and liberating choice. It's not about revenge or proving a point. It's about recognizing that you don't need anyone in your life, who doesn't appreciate you. When you love yourself, you no longer feel the need to chase after someone's affection, approval, or attention. You understand that your value doesn't depend on their validation. Instead, you begin to focus on nurturing your own needs and desires, and you take the necessary steps to let go of relationships that don't serve your highest good. Self-love means putting yourself first, not in a selfish or egotistical way, but in a way that honors your own needs. Too often, we sacrifice our own happiness for the sake of others, thinking that by doing so, we're showing love or loyalty. But in reality, we're often neglecting ourselves in the process. True self-love requires you to recognize that you are your own best friend, your own biggest supporter. It means making choices that support your well-being, even when they may be difficult or uncomfortable. Walking away from someone who is hurting you, whether physically, emotionally, or mentally, is an act of love for yourself. It says, "I am worth more than this, and I will no longer tolerate being treated poorly." When you love yourself, you stop seeking validation from outside sources. You don't need someone else to complete you, to define your worth, or to make you feel good about who you are. Instead, you draw that validation from within. Self-love helps you build confidence, as it encourages you to look within for the strength and assurance you need to make decisions that align with your values and your sense of self-worth. You start to make choices that align with your own needs, goals, and desires, rather than seeking to please others or fit into their expectations. Erasing someone from your life with self-love means you're choosing your peace over the chaos that might have been introduced by that person. It means taking the space you need to heal and to reconnect with your inner self. When you love yourself, you allow yourself the time and space to reflect on what you truly want from relationships, and you stop accepting less than what you deserve. You begin to understand that your happiness is in your own hands, not dependent on anyone else's actions or decisions. Another essential part of self-love is forgiveness. It's not about excusing or condoning hurtful behavior. It's about letting go of the negative emotions that tie you to that person. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or bitterness, you continue to give them power over you. But self-love requires you to let go of that power, to forgive not just the person who wronged you, but also yourself for allowing it to happen. Forgiveness frees you from the emotional burden, allowing you to move forward with a lighter heart and clearer mind. Self-love also involves building your life in a way that aligns with your values and aspirations. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, who encourage you to grow into the best version of yourself. When you start to love yourself, you naturally start to surround yourself with people who treat you with the same love and respect that you offer to yourself. You no longer tolerate toxic, draining relationships because you recognize that you are worthy of healthy, loving connections. Ultimately, self-love empowers you to make the difficult but necessary decisions to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. It's the force that propels you to erase someone from your life when they no longer align with your values or when they repeatedly disrespect you. It's the understanding that you don't need anyone's approval or presence to feel whole. When you love yourself deeply and authentically, you realize that you are complete on your own and that no one else has the power to determine your worth or happiness. This is the foundation for creating a life full of joy, peace, and love, one where you are always your own first priority. The final step in erasing someone from your life is about embracing the future and moving forward with purpose, free from the weight of the past. While letting go of someone who has been a part of your life can be painful, It's important to realize that holding onto that person or situation only keeps you stuck. The future holds so much more potential than staying anchored to the past. Moving forward is about giving yourself permission to grow, to explore new opportunities, and to embrace new experiences without the shadow of past pain or disappointment lingering over you. When you begin the process of moving on, it's essential to acknowledge that this is not about forgetting what happened, but rather about accepting it and learning from it. The experience you had with that person, good or bad, is a part of your journey, and it has shaped you into who you are today. However, holding on to the past, whether through anger, regret, or the hope that things could have been different, only serves to keep you in a place of emotional stagnation. Moving forward is about releasing those emotions and choosing not to let them control your future. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create a future that is better, healthier, and filled with the kind of relationships and experiences you deserve. Part of moving forward is also about forgiving yourself. Often, when we're hurt by someone, we blame ourselves for allowing it to happen. We might question our judgment, wonder what we could have done differently, or even feel guilty for letting someone into our lives who didn't deserve a place there. But self-blame only keeps you trapped in the past. Moving forward means forgiving yourself for the choices you made, understanding that you did the best you could with the information and emotional resources you had at the time. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't need to punish yourself for past decisions. When you forgive yourself, you free yourself from the guilt that can hold you back from truly moving on. Another key aspect of moving forward is reclaiming your sense of identity. After being involved in a relationship, especially one that has been emotionally draining or toxic, it's easy to lose sight of who you are. You may have spent so much of your time and energy focusing on the other person's needs, desires, and emotions that you neglected your own. The process of moving forward is about rediscovering what makes you happy, what excites you, and what you are passionate about. It's about finding joy in your own company and remembering that you are complete, independent, and worthy of all the happiness you desire. When you take the time to reconnect with your own interests and goals, you begin to realize that there is so much more to life than the past relationship or situation. One of the most powerful ways to move forward is by shifting your mindset. It's easy to fall into a victim mentality, especially when someone has hurt you, but adopting this mindset only keeps you trapped in negativity. Moving forward requires you to shift from a mindset of loss to one of growth and opportunity. Instead of focusing on the pain and the what-ifs, you start to focus on the potential for the future. You realize that the end of one chapter is simply the beginning of another. There are new people to meet, new experiences to have, and new lessons to learn. Every ending brings with it the possibility of a new beginning, and by shifting your perspective, you open yourself up to the endless possibilities that lie ahead. As you move forward, it's also important to take proactive steps to ensure that you don't repeat the same patterns. This is where self-reflection becomes essential. Take the time to evaluate what went wrong in the relationship, what you learned, and how you can grow from the experience. This doesn't mean obsessing over the past or blaming yourself for the way things turned out. It simply means being honest with yourself about what you want from future relationships and how you can set healthier boundaries moving forward. The goal is not to carry the same emotional baggage with you into the next chapter of your life. Instead, use the lessons learned to make wiser, more informed choices about the people you allow into your life. Additionally, moving forward involves surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people who encourage your growth and well-being. After you let go of someone who wasn't good for you, it's important to create a circle of people who uplift you and help you grow. These are the people who respect you, value your time, and make you feel good about yourself. Having a support system of friends, family, or even a mentor can make all the difference as you navigate the process of healing and moving forward. Ultimately, moving forward is a choice. It's about deciding that you're not going to let the past dictate your future. It's about choosing to heal, to grow, and to embrace the life that is waiting for you. The journey of letting go of someone or something can be difficult, but it is also incredibly liberating. By moving forward, you are taking control of your life and your happiness. You are stepping into a new chapter, one that is filled with endless possibilities, new experiences, and most importantly, the chance to create a life that is aligned with your true desires and values. Moving forward is not just about leaving someone behind. It's about embracing the future with hope, resilience, and confidence. So take your energy back, walk away with your head high, and remember this: you are the prize you always were. You don't have to chase anyone. When you're living your best life, the right people will find you. Now go out there and make that man feel erased from your life, like he was never even there.